Your alarm goes off. It is still dark outside. Your stomach is completely empty, quietly growling after more than 14 hours without food. Every fitness influencer, every gym coach, every nutrition label on every protein bar has been telling you the same thing your entire life. You need fuel before you move. You need carbohydrates. You need calories. You need something in your stomach or your workout will fall apart and your muscles will waste away. But this morning, something shifts. Something quiet but stubborn rises up inside you, and you decide to test that advice. You lace up your shoes anyway. You step outside into the cool, still air of early morning, and you begin to move without eating a single bite of food. And then something completely unexpected happens. Something that quietly defies almost everything you have ever been taught about exercise and energy and the human body. Instead of crashing, instead of your legs turning to concrete and your vision going dark, you feel something almost electric move through you. Your foggy morning mind, the kind that usually takes 2 cups of coffee just to function, suddenly snaps into a focus so clear and sharp it almost startles you. Your body feels lighter than usual, almost weightless, as if something heavy has been quietly lifted from your shoulders without you noticing. You are not struggling, you are not fading, you are actually genuinely thriving. What you have just stumbled into is not a fitness hack or a trending diet trick. It is something far older and far more powerful than any modern wellness culture could ever invent. You have just activated one of the most ancient and sophisticated survival programs written deep inside your DNA. A biological system that millions of years of evolution carefully and deliberately built into every single human being alive on this planet today. This is the science of fasted exercise, and it is far more powerful than most people will ever take the time to understand. This is not about burning a few extra calories before summer or fitting into a smaller pair of jeans by next month. This is about reprogramming your biology from the inside out at the deepest possible cellular level. It is about rewiring your metabolism, rebuilding your brain, and reconnecting with capabilities your body has quietly forgotten how to use because modern life never demands them anymore. Today, we are going to travel deep inside your body and examine exactly what happens, step by step, cell by cell, hormone by hormone, when you choose to move before your first meal of the day. And what you are about to learn might completely change how you think about energy, food, and what your body is actually capable of doing. Before we go any further, we need to destroy a myth that has been quietly misleading people for decades. Most people genuinely believe that the food they eat 30 minutes before a workout is what powers their muscles through it. They grab a banana, they sip a sports drink, they tear into a protein bar on the way to the gym, and they feel prepared, fueled, ready. But when you actually look at the biology of digestion, this entire belief collapses immediately. Digestion is not a fast process. It is slow, complex, and takes far longer than most people imagine. That banana you ate before your session is still sitting in your stomach, being broken down by acids and enzymes. The nutrients have not entered your bloodstream yet. They have not reached a single working muscle fiber. So what is actually powering your workout right now? The answer is that your muscles are running on internal reserves, energy your body has been building and carefully storing for exactly this kind of moment. Glycogen stored in your liver and muscles, and the thousands of calories locked inside your body fat, sitting there patiently, waiting to be used. Here is something that will reframe everything you think about fat. Even a relatively lean person carries enough stored fat energy to fuel multiple marathons without eating a single calorie. Your body is not a machine that runs empty the moment you skip breakfast. It is a sophisticated biological system with emergency reserves built in by evolution, specifically for physical activity during periods of scarcity. Fasted exercise is not about depriving your body of energy. It is about teaching your body to access the enormous energy reserves it already carries everywhere it goes. The problem is that most people today have trained their bodies to ignore those reserves entirely, because there is always another meal, always another snack, always another easy source of glucose just minutes away. That dependency is costing you far more than you realize, and fasted exercise is one of the most powerful ways to break it. When you begin your very first fasted workout, your body enters what scientists call a metabolic adjustment phase. Think of it as a biological wake-up call for a system that has been running exclusively on dietary sugar for years. Your insulin levels are at their absolute lowest point, sometimes the lowest they have been in a full 24-hour period. Low insulin is essentially the green light your body needs to begin releasing fatty acids from stored fat into your bloodstream as usable fuel. But here's the challenge that most people hit in the beginning. Your body is not yet efficient at burning fat. It has genuinely forgotten how to do it well. It has been coasting on easy glucose for so long that fat burning feels foreign and effortful. So in your very first fasted sessions, you might notice a subtle heaviness in your legs, a mild brain fog, a feeling that your body is searching for something familiar that it can't quite find. This is not failure. This is your body being forced to urgently upgrade itself at the cellular level, and that discomfort is the sound of something important being rebuilt. Studies published in the Journal of Physiology confirmed that fasted exercise rapidly accelerates the production of fat-burning enzymes in your muscle tissue. You are not just passively losing weight while your body fumbles around in the dark. You are actively rebuilding the metabolic machinery that makes sustained fat burning possible. Each fasted workout is like a software update to the energy system running inside you, rewriting the code that governs how your body produces power. Your liver is also working overtime in these early sessions, rapidly depleting its stored glycogen reserves, about 100 grams of stored carbohydrate your body keeps on hand specifically for blood sugar emergencies. Meanwhile, your cells are scrambling to build the molecular equipment needed to extract and burn fat efficiently. It's hard work for a body that has been comfortable for a long time, but hard work, when applied consistently and intelligently, is exactly how transformation happens. By the end of your first week of consistent fasted exercise, something genuinely important begins to shift beneath the surface. The sluggishness that defined your first few sessions starts to fade, the brain fog lifts, your energy levels begin to stabilize and even improve in ways that genuinely catch most people off guard. This is the point where your hormones take center stage and where the deeper biological magic truly begins. One of the most dramatic changes is a massive spike in growth hormone production. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation shows this surge can reach 5 to 6 times normal levels during fasted exercise. Your body produces this flood of growth hormone specifically to protect its most valuable assets. It acts like a biological bodyguard standing watch over your muscle tissue, telling your body loudly and clearly that these tissues are completely off limits, even as fat stores are being burned aggressively for fuel. You are not losing muscle, you are protecting it while simultaneously dismantling the fat stores surrounding it. At the same time, a second transformation is quietly unfolding throughout your entire body. Your insulin sensitivity is improving rapidly, dramatically faster than diet alone could ever achieve. Your cells are becoming what scientists call metabolically hungry, more responsive, more efficient, and more alive to hormonal signals. This change fundamentally alters how your body handles the food you eat after your workout is finished. Instead of storing those incoming calories as fat, your body drives them directly into muscle repair, glycogen replenishment, and cellular recovery. You are becoming what metabolic researchers call metabolically flexible, And this is one of the most genuinely transformative adaptations the human body is capable of making. It means your body can seamlessly and effortlessly switch between burning sugar and burning fat, depending on what is currently available, like a hybrid engine that chooses the most efficient fuel source in real time, without stalling, without crashing, and without panicking. After one full month of consistent fasted exercise, your performance reaches a genuine and undeniable turning point. A comprehensive analysis published in the British Journal of Nutrition, examining dozens of independent studies, found that exercising in a fasted state increases your body's fat oxidation rate by 20 to 30%. That is not a minor or marginal improvement. That is a massive metabolic shift happening during every single session you complete. Your body is now burning significantly more fat per workout than it ever could when you trained after eating. And crucially, these fat-burning adaptations do not simply switch off after you finish your workout and sit down for breakfast. They persist throughout your entire day, quietly working in the background, burning fat while you sit at your desk, drive to meetings, and go about the ordinary business of your life. You are not just changing your workouts, you are changing your baseline metabolism. But perhaps the most surprising and genuinely profound changes are not happening in your muscles or your fat tissue at all. They are happening inside your brain, the organ that controls everything else about your human experience. When blood sugar is low and stable, your liver begins producing ketones, a powerful alternative fuel that your brain can use instead of glucose. Ketones produce more ATP, your cellular energy currency, per unit of oxygen consumed compared to glucose. They burn cleaner, generate significantly less oxidative stress, and many leading researchers now believe they are genuinely superior for sustained mental performance. On top of this, fasted movement triggers the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that repairs existing brain cells and actively grows new neural connections. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your neurons, a biological compound that enhances cognitive performance, improves mood regulation, builds emotional resilience, and protects your brain from age-related decline. This is why people who adapt to fasted exercise consistently describe extraordinary mental clarity during their morning sessions, a sharpness and focus that is difficult to produce any other way. After 3 months of consistent practice, the adaptations are no longer temporary adjustments. They have become structural, permanent changes to how your cells function at the most fundamental biological level. Your mitochondria, the tiny power generators inside every cell in your body, have multiplied and strengthened through a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. More mitochondria means more energy production with less metabolic waste and less cellular damage over time. Your cells generate power more efficiently than they ever did before. Long-term research highlighted in the New England Journal of Medicine reveals that people who regularly practice fasted exercise show measurable reductions in chronic inflammation throughout their bodies. Key inflammatory proteins strongly linked to accelerated aging and chronic disease drop significantly. Lower inflammation means reduced disease risk, faster recovery from injury, stronger immunity, and a body that ages more slowly from the inside out. You are also activating something called the AMPK pathway, the body's master metabolic switch, which triggers one of the most important biological processes you have probably never heard of: autophagy. Autophagy is your body's internal cellular recycling program, a deep cleaning mechanism built into your biology that most people never activate because they are eating too frequently for it to ever switch on. Your cells identify damaged proteins, dysfunctional components, and accumulated cellular debris, then break them down and use the raw materials to build brand new, healthy structures in their place. Think of it as sending a microscopic cleaning crew through every single cell in your body simultaneously, disposing of the old and damaged and replacing it with something fresh and functional. This cellular housekeeping is one of the most powerful anti-aging and disease prevention mechanisms your body possesses. When autophagy is regularly triggered through practices like fasted exercise, cells stay cleaner, function better, accumulate less damage over time, age more slowly, and are significantly more resistant to disease and dysfunction. This single biological process alone makes the case for fasted exercise more compelling than almost anything else in the research. Now let us address the deepest and most important question of all. Why does the human body actually respond this way to fasted movement? Why does it come alive when it is empty rather than shutting down? The answer is buried in our evolutionary history, in the ancient conditions that originally forged human metabolism over hundreds of thousands of years. For approximately 99% of human history, exercise and fasting were not separate lifestyle choices that people scheduled into their Google calendars. Our ancestors did not prepare a pre-workout meal before heading out to hunt or forage. They engaged in intense physical activity specifically in order to find food, driven by genuine hunger and genuine need. The humans who survived across generations were the ones whose bodies performed powerfully while hungry, whose minds stayed sharp, whose muscles stayed strong, whose metabolism stayed flexible under conditions of genuine scarcity. We carry those genes inside every single cell of our bodies right now. Their metabolic programming, refined over countless generations, is still written into our biology today, waiting to be activated by the right conditions. Modern life has completely flipped this fundamental biological relationship in just a few generations. We have pathologized hunger, treating it as a crisis to be immediately eliminated rather than a natural and even productive state. We eat not because we are truly hungry, but because it's noon, because food is visible, because we are bored or stressed, or simply because it's available. We have built an environment of constant, unlimited food access that is entirely unprecedented in all of human history, and our bodies, designed by evolution for feast and famine cycles, struggle profoundly with perpetual abundance. The metabolic machinery built for flexibility and adaptation sits idle, slowly losing its ability to function optimally. Fasted exercise is one of the most powerful and accessible ways to reverse that drift, to reconnect with a version of your biology that is resilient, capable, and metabolically free in ways that constant eating has quietly eroded without you ever noticing. If this science has genuinely sparked your curiosity, here is the single most important rule for starting. Do not begin too aggressively. Diving into a high-intensity interval session or a long, hard run on your very first fasted morning is a reliable way to have a miserable experience and conclude incorrectly that fasted training doesn't work for you. Start instead with low-intensity, steady-state movement, what experienced coaches call Zone 2 training. A 30-minute brisk walk is absolutely perfect. Light cycling, easy swimming, a gentle hike through a park, all ideal starting points. In Zone 2, your body preferentially burns fat for fuel rather than stored glycogen, and this is where the deepest metabolic adaptations happen most rapidly. Hydrate well before and during your session, and consider adding a small pinch of sea salt to your water to replace the sodium your kidneys will release at low insulin levels. When you finish, wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating, allowing growth hormone to stay elevated and autophagy to continue its work before you break your fast with a high-quality, protein-led meal that gives your recovering body exactly what it needs to rebuild stronger. Fasted exercise is not about punishment, deprivation, or competing with anyone else about willpower and discipline. It's about biological maintenance, about cellular housekeeping, about working with your natural rhythms instead of fighting them constantly with food. By choosing consistently to move while fasted, you send your body a profound message at the deepest biological level. You tell every cell inside you that an empty stomach is not a crisis. You prove to your own biology that energy, focus, strength, and capability are already stored inside you, waiting to be accessed not from your next meal, but from within the extraordinary body you already have. The mitochondria you build through this practice will serve you for years to come. The insulin sensitivity you develop will protect you from metabolic disease for decades ahead. The mental clarity you experience will extend into every other corner of your life. The autophagy you trigger will keep your cells cleaner and younger in ways that no supplement can replicate. This is not a trend. This is not a theory. This is fundamental human biology, evolution-tested, science-confirmed, and available to you starting tomorrow morning, the moment you decide to simply lace up your shoes and move before you eat.